Well, this is falling back on yet another realm of a false dichotomy that is so easy. There's a difference between brain and body. There's a difference between brain and mind. There's a difference between emotion and cognition. It's this, when you really examine it closely, it's this completely, I'm not going to say medieval, but it's this notion that somewhere inside your brain, there's a me. There's a me that's in there, but it's separate of all that stuff. It's not made of brain yuck. It's made of something else. There's a separate me in there, and that is independent of it. And there's no separate me in there. There's no separate one there. All we have is what comes out of the material building blocks that make us us. I mean, all we are is a bunch of atoms out there in the universe, blah, blah, that, transiently come together to form this thing that we call me before like all of those atoms come apart into some other way. There's no separate me in there that's making decisions. That's in the brain, but not of the brain. Oh, and in the broadest sense, if we've got enough AIs under our belt and working in unison, can we predict everything that's going to happen in the future? Which another way of asking that is, if you were smart enough and showed up 2 seconds after the Big Bang, would you know exactly what the future was going to be? Would this not only mean this is a deterministic world, but this is a predetermined world? And the answer is no, it actually doesn't work that way, because there are all sorts of things that are formally unpredictable. Chaoticism in systems, non-linearity, three-body problem in physics kind of thing. There's stuff that is not predictable, not because you don't have big enough of a microscope yet to really look at it up close, but will never, ever be predictable. And what that means is at any given moment, there are multiple possible futures. But once the particular future that winds up happening has happened, you could then see how it came to be, how the person who did that came to be the sort of person who did that at that moment. So the future is not set, which is great news, because people get conniptions when you say, oh, there's no free will. And they say, oh, great, are you saying nothing can ever change? It's already determined, so don't bother. No, things change dramatically. And we should not for a second put less effort into trying to make things that need to be better, all of that. But once it happens, you will see where the machinery was that explains how that came about.